Hi, previously we looked at how neurotransmitters can diffuse across the synapse and trigger a nerve impulse, and the effect that can have on our mood and behaviours. So, this time we're going to take a little short look at some of the related health disorders and the treatments that can be used. So, some health conditions may be as a result of not enough of a neurotransmitter or too much of one. So, there are many different treatments available to either enhance the effect of the neurotransmitter or to block it. And a good example are the agonists and the antagonists. So the agonists are drugs or chemicals that are going to bind to the receptors and thus mimic the action of that neurotransmitter. So this can be used to enhance levels of a neurotransmitter if they're being produced in low levels. The other category are the antagonists, and these are the drugs or the chemicals that, when they bind to the receptors, they block the action of a neurotransmitter, thus prevent the action or response that that neurotransmitter would normally trigger. If they don't fall under those categories, then other drugs might act by keeping the neurotransmitter in the synapse for longer, again to boost or enhance levels if they're being produced in not enough quantities. So, this can be done either by inhibiting the enzymes that degrade and break down the neurotransmitter, or by preventing that reuptake into the presynaptic neuron. Thus, the neurotransmitter is kept at the synapse, kept bound to its receptors, causing a nerve impulse and an enhanced effect. So while you don't need to know any particular examples, just to give you an idea of some of the common ones that we have available. So serotonin reuptake inhibitors are used to keep the neurotransmitter serotonin in the synapse, and these can be used to treat some forms of depression. Or, for example, the ACE inhibitors that prevent the enzymes that normally break down acetylcholine, which can be used in the treatment of some heart conditions. So let's try a past paper question associated with this area. So pause the video and play when ready to reveal the answers. This question told Parkinson's disease is associated with the loss of dopamine producing neurons in the brain. It cannot be treated by taking dopamine. So describe a possible mode of action of a drug that can be used to treat this disease. So this is a typical question from this area. It's not expecting you to know offhand about a disease that is caused by a lack or too much of a neurotransmitter or the particular treatment for it. So all the information you would need would be in the question itself. Okay. So we're told we cannot just replace the dopamine, but the problem is a lack of it. So you're looking to describe something that would boost the levels of dopamine. So either a drug that would act as a dopamine agonist that would mimic the action, or something that would prevent or slow the breakdown of dopamine, or something that would prevent or slow the reuptake of dopamine. Okay, notice how dopamine has been underlined, so if they give you a specific example, make sure you refer to that particular neurotransmitter in your response and not just a general response or description. Okay. It also highlights not to accept synthetic dopamine. You're told you can't just uh, replace that neurotransmitter, it has to be something that mimics or prevents its removal from the synapse. So, all must relate to drug treatments. Okay. So, make sure you're taking some of that information, you're adapting your response to the question. So again, hopefully everything is fairly clear at this point, but if you do have any questions, please just let me know.